I gotta tell the truth, cause they gon' lie when I'm deceased. They must not know me. Surprise, I'll never compromise. I'll never follow suit. I'm tryna win. They wanna tie, They will not take my pride. I hope they hate the sight of me.
Let's talk about the people that were at Gnome 7. You know, invited guests, people that we haven't seen in a long time.
Right.
You know, such as Hitman Holla.
Yes.
Conceited.
Yes. Big T.
Big T. Holla Don. You know what I'm saying? But more so Hitman Holla because it's chronicled. I want to say can I say fractured relationship or relationship that's been strained?
I mean, you know, it's no secret that Hitman and URL have always had our little differences, but it's nothing that isn't repairable or nothing that, you know, obviously he knew where he was going to. You know what I'm saying? He's coming to our event. You know what I'm saying? I actually attended his battle when he battled Suge, you know what I mean, on another league. And, you know, we have, it really all boils down to, you know, I can make an offer to somebody and then they can choose to accept it, or they can make an offer to me and I can choose to accept it. But oftentimes what happens is the fans are emotionally involved in certain matches and they want to see them transpire. But, you know, it still has to make sense economically for us as a company.
Right.
And, you know, it has to make sense. So it's like if there's certain matches that, you know, we don't think that we're going to make recoup on, or that they're just not financially good choices, we'll pass them. It's not the first time we walked away from battles. We walked away from Loaded Lux and Hollow Don. You know what I mean? And I don't regret walking away from any of those battles. Would I have liked them to be on the URL platform? Of course. Yes, I do want them. But what fans have to understand too is oftentimes, the URL price is different than the price of what these guys will perform at on other platforms. And sometimes the URL price is 2-3 times higher. And, you know, just as a man, you know, aside from a league, you know, there's going to be times where you have to make sound decisions, or you're going to feel a certain way. It's like if we walk in a store and there's three of us walk in to a store and there's a pair of Nikes that we want, and they say, yo, Dutch, $50. And then when Beasley walks up, they go, yeah, $125. We're like, but I just watched you sell the same sneakers to him for $50. Why do I have to pay $125? And then, you know, what then ensues is people say, oh, because you're a bigger league, you should pay more. Or fans believe that, oh, you know, because, you know, you're the biggest, it's okay, you guys can take it. But I just believe that is like a loser's mentality. Like, whatever your price is what your price is, because that's evidently that's what you're worth, or what you're willing to accept. So, you know, once people believe that, oh, because they make more money, or because, you know, this person may be more successful or they're bigger, that they should pay more, that's like the mentality of a victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you believe in that, like, the price is what the price is. You know, I don't mind paying slightly higher, and I do pay slightly higher, but I'm not going to pay 2-3 times higher for the same services. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it doesn't generate what it's supposed to generate. And when I go to these other events and I see these matches that maybe were promoted on URL, and then I show up and the crowd is not there. So that makes me believe that we have a big part to do with the turnout. You know, if I do an event, if there's some guy's telling me he's worth this amount of money, and because he's going to do this and he's going to do that, and that's what he's bringing to the table, and then I go to the event, you know, and I'm not singling out Hitman, I'm just saying in general, this has happened numerous times, and I go to the event and there's 4 or 5 top tier guys with multiple fan bases that are supposed to generate a crowd, and there's 100 and something people there, or, you know, 200 and something people there, and then I turn around and do an event the following week, and with names with half of the market value, and I'm doing more than what the big names are doing, then what would make me as a sound businessman pay people this money if they're not bringing out the crowd? Everyone has to do their part in order for it to all make sense.
Who's Beasley's favorite battle?
I like the old joints, man. I like all of them, you know what I'm saying? But it all depends, man. Like I like battles for different reasons. Like if I see somebody that we picked to be new, and then the people are reacting to that person, it feels good to feel like, damn, you know, at least we still know what's going on, or we know the right people to choose and pick from. But like I like some of the classic battles. I like Big T and Surf. I like Calico and Newborn. You know, because I have like somewhat of a deeper attachment to the older battles, because that was when we were first starting out. So it wasn't really so much about business then. It was just about us shooting the battles, and we weren't making money at the time. It was just doing it because we loved it, and we still do love it, or else we wouldn't do it. But at that time, we weren't really making money in the beginning of URL. You know what I'm saying? Even when we first started coming up to This Is 50 and bringing the guys up here, you know, I think the first people we brought up was Big T and Hitman, were the first guys that we brought to This Is 50 for interviews. And you know, we've always tried to figure a way to bring the mainstream and the bigger platforms to battle rap and get that level of exposure for the artists as well as ourselves.
Right.
But yeah, I like a lot of the earlier joints. And then if you ask me what I like now, it's like I said, like if we got like somebody like a New Jersey Twerk or Chef Trez, like guys that we're developing and they're doing good and the people are receiving them, I like those kind of battles too.
How you feel about the new guys coming up? The Jack Boys, the Riders?
I like them. I like the energy. You know what I mean? I think these guys are hungry. They're bringing it. You know what I'm saying? And they're all developing and becoming much better with each battle. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to be instantly a veteran overnight. I think being a vet, you know what I mean, or what makes somebody a vet is just a lot of events, consistency, being on the bigger marquee events and being able to stand your ground in front of those crowds without folding under pressure, choking and things like that. That's what kind of makes you a veteran, being on those gnomes and summer madnesses, having those things under your belt, having those million-view battles, having those big battles against an opponent of your size and bigger, and actually getting the W, getting those kills, that experience. Those are the things that make somebody like a top-level MC.
What do you look for when you watch battles in terms of new up-and-coming talent? Like, what do you...
That's a whole bunch of different things that I look for, you know what I mean? Some guys are lyrical, some guys have performance. I like a mixture of both. And I also like somebody who could sell the fight, who knows how to talk right, promote, get people interested, and do blogs and do things around their battle to promote it, put up posts and things to bring attention to it, because ultimately you're basing who you're going to book on who's going to sell the fight. You know what I mean? And once you know somebody can sell the fight, it makes you want to book them more, because it brings a constant attention to what you're doing, because ultimately we got to pay these guys. You know what I'm saying? And we pay them through ticket sales and other revenue streams that we're able to generate from online content. So it's important that they make it engaging and exciting. So I look for those qualities. But from a skill set, I would say, you know, vocal projection, confidence, you know, some bars, lyricism, and just kind of more or less acting it out. You know, I believe that battle rap is also a theater. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, you know, come up with your bars, but it's knowing, comedic timing, acting it out, you know, getting the attention and keeping the attention of a crowd and controlling the crowd in the building and making it so that they're listening to you and you got them on the edge of their seats at all times. So those are the things that I look for in a new MC.
So when you look, all right, so if you're talking to a new MC, right, who is a battle rapper that you could point to and say, you know what, if you want to get on URL, you got to be more, not to be more like, but in terms of how the package is, you know what I'm saying? What battle rapper would you...
Well, I don't know if anybody has the total package. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if anyone has everything that comes with being the perfect MC, but I mean, the blueprint is there, and you see the guys that are booked, and you see the guys that people are into. You know what I'm saying? Surf, you can sell a fight. You know what I mean? You know, even Averb, even the times where you may not have matches where you thought they won, he makes it interesting. He can sell fights. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even Big T, so with his blogs and shit, stuff that he does, he can entertain people, he can make people laugh. I think when you do that and you have that ability, that's what makes you become a bigger artist, at least even within the battle culture, because people are, now they want to see it. You know what I mean? You can't just show up with your rhymes and think you're going to elevate, move to the next level. I try to tell a lot of the newer guys that we got a blog, all the things that made URL big were the arguments with K-Shine and surfing in my office and screaming at the top of their lungs, "You're a dead man, and I'm going to show you." You know, those things are the building blocks of what makes or leads up to a good match.
It's funny you said that battle rap is a mental sport, or using the word sport to describe battle rap, because I had a conversation with somebody and they said that it's not a sport because there's no definitive winner. Mm-hmm. Now my question to you is, will there ever be a situation? Yes.
I'm not opposed to judging, but it all depends on how you implement a judging system, because a battle in the building is not a battle on camera.
Definitely.
Two totally different experiences.
Definitely.
So you could go to the building and really feel something because you see emotion and you see movement. You hear the voice and the emotion in the voice and everything else that comes into play with a battle. But you would have to clearly define the criteria of how you would judge something. And it would have to be a combination of the live experience, what the person actually said when you watch it back on the film, and then, you know, that comprised all together would be the ultimate way to judge something. I'm not opposed to judging, but I like it being open because it gives an opportunity for people to watch the matches over and over again. Mm-hmm. It leads to debate and it leads to talk. And talk is what we need in terms of this sport, which is solely based on lyricism, in a time where we have mainstream music where that has not been what's important. You know what I mean? Right. I feel like lyricism is diminishing at a rapid rate based on the music that we listen to, even though it's fun and it's cool. The kids that are growing up and looking at the artists that are out and they're saying, you know, this shit ain't rap. This is what rap is. You know what I mean? So they're not trying to chase and be as good as Nas or Jay-Z or anyone else. They're just, you know, 1, 2, 3, melody, you know, energy, response, call out music, which is fine. And I'm not here to say that that music is inferior to what I grew up on or what we like. It's just different. But I think when it's all grouped into the same package and you say that what the Migos do is the same thing as what Nas does, Nas can't do what Migos do and Migos can't do what Nas does. But when you package them together and call them the same thing and don't differentiate the two, whatever's more popular is going to be dominant, and eventually it's going to eradicate what the true art form is. Rap does have a format. There is a overall theme in hip hop, and that is steeped in competition. Who could do the most graffiti? Who could spin on their back the best, break dance, DJ scratch, and who can rap the best? Those are all things that are part of hip hop. And once you get away from that mindset of the culture, it doesn't push it forward or advance it. You know what I mean? And once you remove competition and it becomes, oh, I ain't responding to him, they just hating. And then you don't answer guys who call you out on records, then we lose faith in what hip hop is built on. I think battle rap is the only part of hip hop that still exists where there's one guy challenging another guy and he's willing to put everything on the line to prove that he's better than this guy. There's no other part of it that's like that. These guys won't call each other out on records anymore. They rarely do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or they try to make it into a street problem where it becomes physical and they won't go to war on records, or they hide, they don't say each other's names, or it's all subliminal because nobody wants to get involved. So we've lost that part of hip hop culture, which is the competition aspect, but which is a very big part of it.
But that aspect is slowly creeping into battle rap as well, because now you have guys that won't take other guys because of stock. You understand, which is fine, but when it happens on a URL, it's a little bit different, because now it's like, all right, well, this person stopped.
Well, you got to be correct in saying that they won't take certain guys on URL. On the Catfish Battle League in Tuskegee, Alabama, they'll battle anybody.
Right.
But when they battle on URL, they're not going to take the same guys that they're going to take. You know what I'm saying? They'll take, Astro Plane Allen. He's going to take Astro Plane Allen on URL. They're not going to do it.
Now I'm talking about people that actually battle on the URL.
Right.
You understand?
There's a hierarchy within the battle culture. They still do battle. That's the key thing. Maybe they won't take this guy who just came in off the street.
Okay.
But they will try to find other like opponents or bigger opponents, because ultimately the goal is to up your career. So they're under the belief system that if they battle somebody who's bigger than them or someone with a name, that they can share in viewership of those person's fans. So that's what kind of motivates them to take a battle. You know what I'm saying? When they feel where it's competitive or whatever. And then sometimes they won't take smaller guys, because if the guy is really good, it's a possibility that they could lose, and it's a risk. And that will make them take a loss. But if they beat the guy, they're supposed to beat him because they're already established.
But isn't that lack of confidence in their abilities then?
No, it's not. I wouldn't say that. It's just a risk. Sometimes they're assessing what they have. You know, sometimes the biggest thing, the majority of their profile is built off of battle rap and performing. So they're making their choices, and they're saying, you know what, I've taken a lot of guys in the past who weren't on my level profile wise. Why do I have to take this new kid? You know what I mean? Let him work, and why should he get me? You know what I mean? I believe everybody should battle everybody at any time. A battle's a battle.
Right.
But then I understand that now there's more at stake, because this thing has eyeballs on it. You got people watching it. You got sponsors. You got people who care. Athletes, Sports Center, Shaq, Kenny Smith, different people making references to battle rap. So people pay attention to it, and they look at it through the view of, I gotta make sure that everything is right, or if I do lose, I'm losing to a reputable opponent, and not, Joe Schmo off the street who just came in and wiped the floor with me. Now he has a career, and no one's respecting me because I lost to Joe Schmo, even though Joe Schmo is hot.
Oh, wait and see patiently. I'm on the rise and the focus. Oh, I'm so focused, I can cry. You so hopeless, they should die. Wave goodbye, think a lie. Every time they hear my name, they should hate to pray to God. Every time I watch a battle, they be grabbing like the guys in the jabs. This for all Coliseum, wave high, case up. How many goals, who I miss? They lie, straight wreck. Ring Gretzky, I skate off ice.